Hey everyone, this story is a bit different because this is going to be a story about an interview that didn't happen. This is the time I didn't interview Rihanna. Almost interviewed Rihanna, but didn't interview Rihanna. See, a long time ago, I was writing for a magazine called Soak. Soak, it's a men's interest magazine. It was before it folded. This was a great magazine to write for. This is actually I did this cover story on Candice Michelle, former WWE diva. I did a bunch of covers for them. I really appreciated Soak because when I went to them, I was purely a music journalist, but I had expressed to the editor, like, listen, I know this is what I do. I love to also write about other kinds of entertainment, TV, film, things of that nature. And he was like, you know what? If you can book it and it's something we want to do, let's do it. So it was one of those things where prove your mettle, I proved it, and I started getting these cover stories. But Rihanna wasn't going to be a cover story. This was before she was really, really huge. Because I don't know if you probably couldn't see the date there, but on this issue was October 2006. So yeah, it was that era. And I had hit up a record label for an artist for an interview, not realizing at the time that the artist and the label were parting ways. I'm not going to say the name of the artist because I don't think that's fair to the artist. But needless to say, the label was not about to set up PR for an artist that they were no longer going to have on the roster. A lot of times when a label gets a press request like that, most really smart publicists are going to be like, well, we don't have them, but how about this one? Or how about one of these three? And start something going with that. So while I couldn't get approved for the one artist, they said, hey, how about Rihanna? And, at the time she'd had a few hits. She was known. She wasn't, Rihanna. She wasn't what she is now. But she was known. I said, hey, let me run it by the editor. The editor had only approved the previous one. So ran it by my editor. He said, yeah, cool. Let's do it. Got back to the label. I said, hey, I have approval. Let's set up the Rihanna interview. Label said, okay, could you just send us some copies of the magazine first? I was like, all right, usually that's done before anyone pitches anybody. But, we sent off some copies of Soak to the label. And a little while later, I received an email back that was, it weirded me out because there was pearl clutching going on. It was, we can't believe you'd suggest such a publication for one of our young artists. Now, listen, she was a teenager, but she was, she was full-grown teenager, almost 20. So I was sort of like, what? Huh? I feel like she was like 18 or 19 at that point. They were apparently very offended that Soak magazine, a magazine called Soak, had women in bikinis in it. It had pictorials, women in bikinis. Nothing pornographic, though. Just typical sort of men's magazine fare. The one difference with us was that ours came with 3D glasses, so some of the pictures were in 3D, which made things interesting. I wish I could actually show you let's see if I can find something on here that could show that. Yeah, technically this picture would like jump out at you if you were wearing 3D glasses. But again, that's sort of the type of fare that was in there. And the label was really like, I can't believe this, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right, cool, how dare you suggest this? I'm just thinking to myself, like, I didn't. I suggested another artist. You suggested this artist. But I was like, okay, no problem. Really, honestly, you could have just said you didn't feel the magazine was a good fit. They didn't have to do the whole, like, she's a teenager. It's like, yeah, so are some of the models. Some of the models are 19. But I said, fine, we'll find somebody else. All good. I thought that would be the end of it. Because it sounds like it's the end of it. But a handful of months later, a little music video came out for Umbrella. I'm not sure how many of you remember that music video, but That's the one with the naked Rihanna and silver body paint for a scene or two. That was either in the video or for the promos for the video. And I was like, huh, that's the same woman they said shouldn't be in a magazine with women in bikinis. Now she's naked in silver body paint. Did they have a radical change of plan? Or did one department not know what the other department was about to do? Because suddenly I was like, I feel like we'd have been a perfect fit based on this video. But alas, it was not meant to be. I did not interview Rihanna. Came close, this close to interviewing Rihanna. But I feel like she's had a pretty alright career regardless. So have I. So hey, no hard feelings. Maybe one day. But that was the story of how I ended up not interviewing Rihanna. More stories next time. Peace.